when you are running for office yourself, you're in a precarious position to endorse other candidates because you always have to be thinking, who are you going to annoy, who are you going to alienate, how to set a thing, the dynamics of the election. But there are times when you feel so strongly about the ability and the competency of a candidate that you put all that behind you and you say, I'm all of it. And that's why I'm here today. I've had the good fortune to have Kris as my legislative director. He started in February when my prior legislative director got very ill. So in the middle of session, Kris jumps right in and never misses a beat. But the story doesn't stop there. It keeps getting bigger and greater. So I'm going to tell you a few things about what a legislator does and what are the key requisites for success. Because so frequently we support somebody or they go to our church, or they said one thing that resonated with us. But it's so much more complex than that. And so that's why I want to share why Kris is one of the most, if not the most qualified candidate in the race. And I want to give you one caveat to that, because we haven't done redistricting yet. So we don't know what Kris's district will look like. So for now, we're going to say it's what it is today, District 3A. And there are a lot of wonderful candidates in that race. I like them all. But I don't think I can check the boxes as much as I can with Kris. So, what does a legislator do in the state legislative body? Constituent service. Never has that been so important. Not a day goes by that we don't get dozens of emails. And these are substantive requests. I'm going to be thrown out of my home. I can't feed my children. I'm not getting my unemployment check. And Kris is on that 24/7. He's got that, and I read all the emails. He responds to most of them, but I do read them. People are so grateful of the incredible service they get from him. And that's critical. I think that's our number one priority, constituent service. Number two, policy development. What are the policies we're going to put forward? Well, we've already drafted 10 bills. I should say, Kris has drafted. I talk about them. He submits the ideas to the drafters. So he's done it all. And the third thing that a legislator does is serve on all kinds of committees and commissions and task force and advisory groups, and they don't always show up, unfortunately. And I want to give you an example of one of those groups that Kris has just done an exemplary job on. We have a focus on doing work for some of the most challenged, vulnerable people among us. And we have been working for quite some time for individuals with disabilities who want more control over their lives and their support. It's called self-direction. And the advocates we work with are so grateful to the work Kris has done that some of them drove an hour to come here tonight. Would you stand up and wave? So this is a complex issue, and the short story, if I can make it short, is that The state of Maryland is leaving federal money on the table because we are misinterpreting federal law and denying services to these very vulnerable individuals with disabilities. So I had the good fortune of convincing the speaker we need a work group to move this forward. And we've been meeting since June every month, and it got more and more complex. So we now have 2 subcommittees. And there was a day that, I don't know, I was multitasking. And so Kris ran one of the subcommittees. And he did such a great job. He runs all the subcommittees. There aren't many legislators that get to chair a speaker's work group. No less the legislative director, but I am totally confident letting him handle those. So those are the kinds of things that a legislator does. Now I want to talk about what are the key requisites for success. And I call them the 4 Ps. They all start with P. One is passion. You've got to be in it for the right reasons. It's not about power, it's not about privilege, it's not about prestige. It's about passion to do something good for your community. And I'm going to let Kris talk about that because nobody talks better about his passion than he does. And it's evidenced by his community service. I mean, I could list all the community service organizations that he was in, but it would probably take me another half an hour. But not only has he been involved in dozens of community organizations, he's received major awards, like the Wertheimer Award. How many people in Frederick get the Wertheimer Award? I mean, his community service is just unparalleled. So that's the first P, passion. Policy is the second. You gotta be a policy geek. During elections, I hear people come forward with ideas, and I think to myself, don't they know that passed already? Kris is a policy geek. He knows where to go to research, what are best practices, what other states have passed it already, who did it differently. You've got to get the policy. The third P is process. And wow, process sometimes is just as important, if not more so, than the policy. Knowing where to go, how to build advocacy, talking to the opposition, trying to kind of hold them off and get them to negotiate. Kris went to MACO last summer, Maryland Association of Counties. And by the time he left, he'd already talked to staff and lobbyists and moved about 4 of our bills to the next level. First time there, it just came instinctively. Okay. The 4th P, I'm going to call politics, but I'm going to give you a little different definition. Do you have the right temperament? Can you work with other people? Can you be a team player? Can you work as well with people who oppose you and are nasty frequently, as well as those that support you? I mean, this guy is the poster child for likability. I don't know where to come in. You know, we get these obnoxious emails sometimes, and he writes back the sweetest response, and I think to myself, like I didn't respond. Leave it to Kris. So I hope I've given you a really good idea of what a legislator does and what really will make them successful. Because at the end of the day, you want to elect somebody that's going to get things done and that are going to bring resources back to our community. And that's Kris there, because he's going to hit the ground running day 1.
That's right.